evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, two titans will clash while we are watching and cheering for them because tonight, Beastyqt and also Sage from Root Gaming will be showing us how to properly play Heart of the Swarm. I'm not sure how about you, Jack, but I'm pretty much hyped for tonight's show match.
I am so excited. Sage has always been a super creative, innovative player, and Root as a team has always been a really creative, innovative team. So seeing them together is a really cool thing, and especially with Heart of the Swarm, all the new things. I'm just ready to pick up some new PvT builds at this point.
Yeah, so anyway, just a small piece of trivia for Sage. It is right now 2 AM, if I'm not mistaken, or even 3 AM. Because it's very late into his night, but he has a stock of coffee prepared. I have asked him, I wanted to make sure that he's okay playing the show match this late, so we will see how he performs. But anyway, let's introduce our players. Here, spawning in the bottom right corner, we have Beasty from Team Empire.
And in the top right-hand corner of our screen, the red Protoss, it's Sage.
Yeah, and Sage, by the way, Sage is one of the most kick-ass nicknames. I think both of the players have very much kick-ass nicknames. Beast, that's, you know, the beast from the east, and Sage is just someone very wise. So I think that their choosing of nicknames has been the best.
Yeah, and I think that Sage's nickname fits him really well because his play is a lot of times like very reactive and very sage-like, sort of knowing what to do in each situation and making really good decisions.
That's exactly
so
right.
It works out well for. What the hell is this? Do you see this gateway placement?
Yes.
What?
It's kind of. Maybe that probe that placed this gateway has been drunk yesterday and just having a huge hangover today. You know. Kinda, you know.
Yeah, well.
Could you place it over there, please? Yeah, sure, I can do it. Well, let's see what is the idea behind this. I mean, right now, PvT on Heart of the Swarm is still in its development. There is no real meta game, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so it looks like he's got his gateway rallied out to the Terran's base, so he's going to be probably putting on some pressure, and he built it on the low ground so that way it's closer of a rally. I mean, that's a very small difference. That's like a Protoss version of a Macarax, which is kind of cool, but not in the way that it's not scouted. He didn't make it way back in his mineral line. So.
Well, as we can see, Beasty also is making forward barracks, and this is kinda cool because, you know, most of the players would just build their barracks inside their own bases, but then you win these sort of matches not because sometimes you're just winning these matches because of small differences. And having a forward placed barracks or gateway or even, oh my god, a proxy
factory.
Yeah. This is how he rolls. This is Beasty.
Yep. And it's perfect placement just outside of the Xel'Naga Watchtower vision range. Sage has not scouted it. Sage cannot see it. So we're likely going to see some Widowmine, some proxy Widowmine. Maybe he'll do the trick where he'll be lifting it up and trying to put it into his opponent's base. But judging by the position, I think he's going to try to just walk in with
I think so too, because normally
blocked Widowmine. Oh, just for a sec.
If you want to fly into your opponent's main, then you would normally place the barracks around this spot, so then you can easily afford, you know, to flip the barracks to the other side of the chasm. But with this is extra smart actually. Sage is scouting this position. He's aware that recently Terrans are doing this proxy factory stuff, so he doesn't want to be hurt by it, and maybe this is the reason why Beasty chose this location instead of that one.
Yep, I definitely think so. Some
Sage, by the way,
Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core harassment coming in. The Stalker got caught out of position and took a lot of damage. We still have the Mothership Core in here. That's able to do a lot of hurt. Mothership Core can take on one Marine pretty easily, as it has more DPS and more hit points than a Marine.
But it seems that Sage has gotten disoriented because he was focusing on getting that Widow Mine, and he failed at both fronts. So he took more damage than he should with his Mothership Core, and also he has lost one of the Stalkers trying to catch the Widow Mine. Widow Mines, so nasty little creatures. And again, another one is burrowing. Just very nice positioning. Sage is just giving up the ground. Oh, very good. One,
Ooh.
yeah, one of the Widow Mines picked up. Then the Mothership Core is still alive and kicking, surprisingly, and it's just whacking on the barracks. I wonder how long will these guys stay up.
Yeah, the Mothership Core can do really well one-on-one against Marines, so just sort of camping the production structures. Really strong move to make, but Beasty is leapfrogging these Widow Mines in, and it looks like no Robo. He's going to use the Stargate for detection. He's going to try to use the Stargate here.
I think he is, but he needs to be careful with... Oh, very nice. Stalkers on hold, so he doesn't sacrifice any of them to a Widow Mine. Oh, very nice pick out by... this is such a high-level game. I love this. A very good opening from both of these guys. And by now, Beasty has gotten rid himself of that nasty Mothership Core, which even picks the running Marauder. So nice. And one Widow Mine that is here just to catch the Mothership Core. Will it do it? Oh, yes! It got caught. Not good for Sage.
Not good for Sage at all. And... So we have things sort of stabilizing around, but the issue for Beasty is that he doesn't have an expansion, and he doesn't even have, he doesn't have an orbital command anywhere. You look on the structures tab, he's only got one orbital command, and Sage is making this transfer, so...
The Oracle is on its way, and it's about to do some heavy damage if not stopped. And we already have one Marine down, one Worker, another Marine, and another one. Oracles are so powerful against Marines. You need to be very much prepared for the harassment. If not, you're going to lose a lot of Workers and Marines as well, and mining time most of all.
Yep, and this is going to signal the attack. Beasty was already behind in the economic game as it was. If Sage can manage to hold on to this, he doesn't have a lot of forces in the front of his base, but if he can manage to hold on against this push, he's going to win the game. Very likely.
Yeah, and two Widow Mines at the front. Oh, one of them nearly picked off by Sage, but Sage is also extra careful. He didn't notice the one at the front. Oh no, the probes are going to blow. Oh wow. But that also blew most of the Terran's army. And Beasty says, lag, what the hem. Yeah, it's Heart of the Swarm beta. I'm sorry guys, but this is how it works. We sometimes get lag, and nothing we can do about it. So anyway, let's see where this game goes on. Right now, Beasty is just continuing his production. I think with this one base play, if he manages to keep up the aggression, he may deal some heavy damage, although Sage is very much into the game right now. He has managed to secure the expansion, easy peasy, and he is now on top of everything, I guess.
Yeah, Sage is pushing out here. He's trying to control the map a little bit, and Beasty's going to have to turn around. He's got almost no economy at all. This is a ridiculously difficult position for Beastyqt to be in right now, and we have Root Sage going for even more Oracle harassment. So he's managed to defend the proxy factory and the follow-up one-base push. Now it looks like all the SCVs are coming, and this is going to be the final push. Beasty's going to try to make one big attack here, and if he pulls it off, then he can win. But if he doesn't, this is almost certainly going to spell out GG for Empire's Beasty.
I feel so too. Yeah, we will see. It will all come down to how he, proceeds with the engagement. And Sage doesn't have the biggest army right now. He has spent some time on harassing, but then he noticed, okay, the attack is coming. I better have my oracles back in my own base.
Oh,
SCVs,
perfect force field.
exactly.
The SCVs are separated from the rest of the forces. This is going to be almost impossible for Beasty. He's going to need some miraculous micro. And the Nexus Cannon goes down to seal the deal. This is a very frustrating position indeed for Beastyqt to be in right now. Root Sage has managed to hold on with just a handful of units, just the right number of units.
Yeah, and that is one of the most dominant, I guess, factors in Sage's play, that he usually has just enough units. And we have a GG, which means the game number 1 goes to Sage, and this is a best of 9 show match, guys, so there's at least a couple more games to come tonight. If they are equally as good as this one, this is going to be an evening that you will remember.
Absolutely.
Oh, I have
Beasty,
just been kicked out of Battle.net.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we have detected too much epicness in your account, thus, thus you need to get out. Alright, guys. We'll be back with you after a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, you're watching Beastyqt TV. Alright guys, we're into the inside the lobby already. The map is going to be Daybreak. Daybreak, one of the maps that are the longest around the block. I remember the day when I saw it introduced and I said to myself, this map is the best. It's basically the essence of what's really important in StarCraft 2. It has a lot of rocks, metal, there's a huge big ass planet in the background, and it just looks so freaking nice. So I thought to myself, this map is going to last long. No matter what the balance about it is, people will make it work because it's such a nice map. And my line of argument is so ridiculous that Jack even didn't know how to comment upon that.
Oh, right. Here I am. Here I am. I'm here. I was it's always sort of difficult for me to tell when it is time for me to be talking or time for me to be with the muted microphone. But
Alright.
here I am with the non-muted type, and we're in the game now.
Alright, we need to work that part out, since it seems we'll be doing a lot more casting together. As the
Sounds
time
good to me.
flies by. Yeah. So anyway, guys, let's introduce the players. Here in the top right corner we have Beasty from Team Empire. Some people call him the Beast from the East. So we will see. He tried to rip Sage apart in the first game, but just didn't manage to. And here,
in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we have the player who excellently defended that proxy and following one base play. It's Roots Sage.
you're exactly right. So we will see how this game plays out. Like I said, Daybreak, one of the oldest guys around the block in terms of the map pool. I think that people just love it. and I don't even see it being removed from the map pool anywhere in the close future. It has a lot of great features, it's a very distinct map, and even despite the design of, you know, the style of the map, still the ground design and how you need to worry about your third base, all of that jazz adds up to one big epic map.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a normal gateway placement for Sage this game around. I was wondering if that was going to be a standard gateway placement play, but it looks like he's going for a somewhat normal placement back at his base in PvT.
Yeah. Alright, already we have the game screen. Sorry for showing you my ugly face for such a long while. I'm very happy you managed to get over it. And for Beasty, let's see what we have. We have a very quick gas. We also have barracks. And a very quick gas at this stage usually was an indicator of Hellbat drop play. Now, with the Hellbat nerf that has happened, which means that the Hellbats now take up 4 cargo spaces in a medivac instead of 2, that means that Hellbat drops have just gotten a lot weaker than they used to be.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice nerf to the Hellbat drops without really changing a lot of different things, but it does do a job to adjust it in a way that it's not quite as strong as it used to be. Definitely gonna see what's going on here. The gas actually isn't that high for our Terran player yet, so he's just getting a tech lab for now.
Can you see what Sage is doing right now? He's going for a proxy Stargate play with extra fast Oracle. That's a very risky sort of a play, but then also very popular in Heart of the Swarm beta. We saw players like Wytra using it over and over and over again. Oracle against Terrans is one of the strongest units, and that basically comes down to the fact that Oracle can shoot down both Marines and SCVs in 2 very rapid shots, and that's really it. That's all the truth behind the scenes. It takes 2 shots to take down a Marine, equally 2 shots to take down an SCV, and it makes it a very powerful harassing machine.
And Beasty actually proxied another factory. It was scouted
oh
by
my
Sage.
God.
So we have the yin and yang proxies over here, making the perfect symbol, all balanced out. But not scouted is the Stargate.
Exactly. So Beasty doesn't know about that Stargate, and also on the other side of the map, Sage knows about this factory. So he's kind of waiting and anticipating. Okay, will a medivac go through this way? No, it won't. A very forward zealot with a stalker.
Oh, and it looks like they take out the first Widow Mine. Well done.
So good. Yeah, that's a way to counter them. Instead of waiting in your own base and worrying your ass off, what you should be doing is you should go forward and try to force it to burrow somewhere along the way, so you're not so much in danger. Then there's another one trying to make its way, and it will do it. Oh, well, this zealot is wasted. I'm not sure they managed to teleport him back to Ire, mate.
I don't know. That seemed like a straight-up explosion. I think he was decimated completely. In the meantime, though, Sage with the harassment while defending the attack manages to take down a bunch of SCVs, and
hey, let's take a look what's happening in the base of Beasty. Sage has managed to take down 9 workers with his oracles, since most of Beasty's units were just up front trying to fight or force their way into Sage's base with that proxy Widow Mine. And we have another GG from Beasty. Too much losses, not enough damage dealt, and this basically means that Sage is now up 2-0 in this series.
It's really interesting because Beasty was known for his macro style play in Wings of Liberty, and so far from him we've only seen a very aggressive one base play in Heart of the Swarm. That might be just because the early game's a little bit more mapped out in Heart of the Swarm than the late game, so he's not really comfortable going there. But Sage is just brick wall of defense here. It's tough to get by.
Yep, you're exactly right. So we will see what the next map is. By the way, guys, since we have a bit of a downtime, I wanted to remind you that you can win a copy of Heart of the Swarm following the launch of the expansion. What you need to do is just go to Team Liquid, to our stream thread. The link will just appear on the chat in a second, guys, and leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you like our commentary. If you like it, if not, then why? What could we work on to improving, etc. etc. And if you just leave a single comment, that makes you someone who possibly can win a copy of Heart of the Swarm, and we have a lot of them in stock. That has to be said.
Oh yeah, lots of Heart of the Swarm copies to be given out. Definitely sounds exciting. It's coming up really soon. The Heart of the Swarm. It's weeks away.
Yeah, I'm taking
so
a
excited
day
for that
off.
full release.
I'm actually taking a day off at work just to run a show, just to play my game and see, how it is to be playing the full version. I'm also quite hyped for the campaign. I know most of you guys don't play the campaigns. I don't know why, they are freaking awesome, but then a lot of people say, yeah, well, I didn't even open up the single player, and I was, what? But then the game is starting.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you didn't play the campaign?
No, I'm the same way as you. I played, not only did I play the campaign, but I'm like an achievement hunter. I can't help it. I'll
There's
just go
another
in
name
and
for
try
that,
to
my
get
friend.
all the achievements. What's that?
Achievement whore.
Oh, not cool. Poor form.
Why? It's how people call us. I mean, I have been called an achievement a lots of times. Haven't you heard that name before?
Oh yeah, I've heard it plenty of times.
So anyway,
in any case, we have Antigua Shipyard is the map in this game.
And here in the left side of the map, and Antigua now is cross spot only. It is Beasty from Team Empire.
All right, and this player has defended 2 all-in so far. Is he going to defend a third? It's Roots Sage.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, then, we don't see so many macro games in Heart of the Swarm, and I think it's one of the most exciting things about it. There are just so many options for aggression. With Wings of Liberty, every sort of little aggression aspect of the game has eventually been worked out. The same may happen to Heart of the Swarm, but every aspect of it was just worked out, and people were aware, okay, I can defend 3 of my expansions with workers only. If he goes Hellions, I just build a bunch of spine crawlers and that's it. I will be fine. Maybe a queen or 2 will help too. But in Heart of the Swarm, there is just so much that the opponent can do to you that macro games are actually a risk that you are taking, which is good. You need to be taking risk, and that gives you a better position later in the game. But at the early stages, it is just more dangerous to play a macro game instead of some quick one-base play.
Absolutely, and I think that. That's what's going to happen. What happened to Wings of Liberty is going to happen to Heart of the Swarm. It's in the beginning stages, like no one knows how to defend the all-ins. Nobody knows what all of the all-ins are in the beginning, and as time goes on, you figure them out. So right now is a really great time to get into just watching Heart of the Swarm, because you can follow the metagame from the very beginning. So that way, when you get to that stage later on, you can really appreciate the macro play, because you have an understanding of, oh yeah, he can do this because that all-in got figured out, and he'll be able to react instantly in the precise way that will be able to defend his macro play. Speaking of macro play, we've got One Rax Fast Expand from a Terran player.
Yeah, and what you said about following up on Heart of the Swarm right now, it is exactly the best moment to get started with it, because you will see the metagame as it shapes up. Right now there is basically no metagame that we could hear about, since we have new ways of playing arising weekly. So it's kind of difficult to say, oh yeah, this is what is most determinant for Terran in the early minutes. No, it's not. He can come up with something so ridiculous you won't have an idea what hit you. And the same goes for every other race. So right now, Heart of the Swarm, a lot of white space, blank space to be defined, and it is just so good and pleasurable to watch all of these players trying to figure it out as they go.
Absolutely. So it looks like there was a SCV hiding out for a while, and it wasn't scouted, but it looks like no proxy is going to come down from the SCV. He's just going to use it to scout, a little bit delayed. It's going to get by any sort of um,
Very
zealot that might
smart.
be
Can you
guarding
see?
the front.
The Zealot is now trying to drag the Marines away because there is a mothership core, but then the Marines were smart enough and one said to the other, Frank, do you see that huge light bulb hanging around the horizon? Yes. What is that? I've heard it's something to do with your mother. Oh, does it? Okay, let's get back to the bunker better.
Definitely a good idea if you see a giant orb of light, something to do with your mother. It's likely to kill you, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just common sense. I mean, if
Yeah.
anyone had that set of information, it would obviously lead to the conclusion I'm probably going to be killed into the
In
bunker.
my opinion, it should be called Mother-in-Law Core and then Mother-in-Law Ship, but that would I just feel that would be more adequate to the situation and the danger it poses.
I definitely many people in history have been known to have some issues with the mother-in-law. So yes, I see how that would be very appropriate in many situations.
By the way, this is one of the new types of the Mothership Core usages that's arising recently, where you just drop the time warp ability on minerals, and it basically slows down the income of the turn by a lot. And it kind of, well, maybe it's not enough to negate a whole mule, but it's definitely worthwhile since you have the energy anyway, and you can just spend it. If you manage to fire off 2 such babies, then you are definitely in a very good shape. So, it's one of the things that are very much worthwhile doing right now.
Absolutely, the time warp slows down the unit movement by 50%, so that would be a cut of 50% if you managed to cover the entire base, which is gigantic. In that particular one, he didn't really get the gas.
Do you
gas.
see that? Oh my god, do you see that very slime building? It's not slime, it's slick.
Sneaky.
Or
Yeah,
slick or
slick,
slick. Yeah.
slick works. Nice one.
That's slime.
Yeah. Slime.
Do you see that giant blobber rising on the Terran's base? It must be Zerg. No, it's actually a dark shrine.
It's a dark shrine. The dark shrine is actually a Zerg building that was adopted by the Protoss because of its slime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have some dark shrine. Sage, one of the back in GSL November, I think, showing some cool 2-gate proxy DT stuff. So Sage very experienced with innovating DT use. We'll see what he has planned, particularly for this game, which by the way is on 2-base versus 2-base. So we've moved forward. We've made it past the opening stage. So.
Wanna make a bet about when will we start seeing free base play in Heart of the Swarm as a standard, as it became in Wings of Liberty?
Okay. Yeah. All right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I give it around 7 months.
7 months? I give it 3 months.
Okay.
3 months. 3 months is the bet.
And what's the stake in this?
Oh. I don't know.
The time we meet, the one who has lost, because we will meet at a certain time,
Yes.
if our careers go right, I become an international caster, I will soon have to visit US at one point or another. Then the loser buys the whiskey for the evening.
That sounds good. That sounds good. If you are correct, I will buy you whiskey for the evening.
If I'm not, then I will pretend that this never happened. No, I'm not one of these types of people. I always hold up to my end of the bargain.
All right.
Okay,
and we
so
have an attack coming in with the Marine Marauder. No medevac support just yet.
And this is
looks
kind of
like
interesting,
nothing
isn't
rallied
it?
in.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
we do
with
have the
lack
stim
of
upgraded.
modifiers. Yeah, but
Yeah.
There's no way, and as hard you could be yelling at these Marines, jump on that freaking cliff, then I don't imagine they will be able to,
No, the Marauders mostly are just too heavy. I mean, they could try to give like the Marines a boost up, but those suits are made of heavy metal, to keep them safe from all the perils of space. So they're not going to be able to jump.
Oh, and we
They don't
have
have the
2
jetpacks.
medivacs now. Very late
There we
medivacs of 2 bases. There's a 3rd base on the way. Engineering labs working all day and night to try and research new upgrades for the units, and the medivacs are now dropping. Now, is the Protoss prepared? Yes, he is. I'm under the impression that that's the case. 2 Marines have dropped too far and are left behind, just like the Sergeant Ryan. And now, oh, Sage with such a nice micro, good force fields. Wow, they trapped most of the enemy units away from the battle, so the Zealots and the Immortals could just easily pick off whatever was left standing. Nice.
Absolutely phenomenal building placement. If I've seen Sage play before, and he's one of the players who really takes everything into account, and he used that intentionally to be able to ward off drops and give him the proper space that he wants for force fielding while not constricting his army motion. That was perfect.
Also, we had a Marine that seemed to be on drugs. He just ran into the Protoss's expansion, run away like a chicken with its head cut off, and then standed in the middle of the mineral line and started shooting people around him. So,
It's an insane Marine. Sometimes it happens.
You know,
they just crack.
If you stim too often, this is what happens. Kids, don't use Stimpack too often.
Don't use Stimpack. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say don't even use Stimpack at all, unless there's a medevac around, in which case you're probably okay.
You know. And don't try to read too much into what we're saying. We're just talking nonsense right now. We have another drop right here in the back, and there's a Zealot legs upgrade being researched, and that gets focused. If it gets taken down, that will be actually huge, and it is taken down. Not very good. A nice move by Beasty. And Sage is now in a world of trouble. He was counting for that leg upgrade a lot. I know it's called Zealot Charge, but for me it's still leg upgrade. And only one Dark Templar being warped in here to try and see what can happen. There's another one here at the expansion of Beasty, but I think that drop has dealt just too much damage. Just too much.
Yeah. It definitely hurt Sage a lot, and he is behind as far as supply is concerned. As far as the upgrades go, he's also behind, so he's gonna have to really make this third base work for him and make some sort of damage happen pretty effectively here.
Oh, these stalkers, very nice. That was one of the examples of Sage's play. Maybe he's not the most solid players in terms of their mechanics. Of course he is goddamn solid, but not one of the best around the world. But he is so good at predicting the game. Sometimes it just doesn't work for him, but at times like this, when he was able to tell, okay, he's going to try it again, he just placed a bunch of stalkers there to catch the drop, and it was so good.
Yep, really pulled him right back into this game just with that one move. He's looking in a lot better position.
Another crazy Marine.
Evened out.
Another crazy Marine. He will just be there lying with his shield. Oh, and he melted into the ground, and there's only a smudge of blood left after him. That's not a lot to leave after you when you depart from this world. And we have another set of crazy Marines. What? Beasty is he's crazy basically with where he sends his Marines. Normally people don't use that Marine scouting a lot, and I love this from Beasty because it just shows the potential. Marine is only a 50 minerals cost, so you can send them around the map like Zerglings, and you control what's happening. You control the expansions timing, you control pretty much the whole map with just placing your Marines right.
Really nice catch on a Dark Templar that was sneaking by. He managed to see it. And he's mixing in the Widow Mine. So this is the kind of play that Blizzard's been looking for. Sort of, if you're going to go bio, you can also mix in some factory units, so the factory is not a useless production facility. And we'll see how these Widow Mines work out. It's really dangerous to have a bio group and to have Widow Mines, because the Widow Mines can decimate your own bio group very quickly and very easily. So he's going to have to be super careful with how he uses this bio group and Widow Mines together.
Oh my god, this is not looking good. I mean, after this, the hospitals on Ire and on Tarsonis will get so busy. This battle will determine a lot of the losses, and maybe not, because Beasty is just backing off. He saw the army that Sage has and decided better against it, and that's actually a smart move. You don't want to be attacking unless you are sure that you're going to deal some damage, or secure an important victory. By the way, Vikings flying around the map to catch this little nasty Warp Prism, and I think they will manage to, just in the nick of time, it didn't manage to spawn these 2 Dark Templars, so it's quite good. A very good play and a very solid play by both of the players.
It looks like Empire's Beastie is queuing up, gearing up rather, for another attack. There is 1 photon cannon in place, but that's going to be a double medevac drop. There is a probe here to catch that, to see it a little bit early. And it looks like he's going to send that in, very likely when the main engagement happens, while Sage is distracted. Or at least while his army's out of position. Ooh, when he takes out an observer, trades it for a Viking. So good trade there.
Yeah, and Sage
Very
is
nice.
placing... By the way, one of the things is worth pointing out is Sage is very good and active about placing his pylons around the map. He has them basically everywhere, and that is very useful as the game goes on, because if he wins the battle or just wins the battle when it's very near his base and he's playing a defensive style, then he can just warp in units behind the enemy lines, so he can afford a very nice run by after that. And BC right now
tries to split up his army, but he sent all of the stalkers to deal with the Marine Marauder medevac, and that is not going to work out very well. This small drop still doing tons of damage. The 3rd gets taken out, and this is just a very, very difficult situation for Sage.
And the Widow Mines
correctly.
The Widow Mines just melted all of these zealots apart. And even though this army gets cleared up, still in his main, right now Sage has to deal with a lot. And he worked 2 Dark Templars, which should be enough, but if we take a look at the workers killed, it's 35 workers killed. That's just too much. Even more Dark Templars. No, sorry, these are Zealots warped in to defend this. Not too many units left for Beastie in these 2 medivacs. And Sage is going for it. He decided, okay, if not now, then I don't know when. And he just needs to be careful about this overzealous Archon who wanted to deal too much damage. This was the little Archon who could. And a huge SCV train being caught here and ripped apart. I think the 3rd of the Beastie also got caught. And the Guardian Shield goes up, and Sage goes in for the attack. He has to be careful about his Zealots. If too many of them melt away, if there are too many Widow Mines up front, then this attack will just do nothing. Very important, he manages to keep his Observer alive, although it is on very low health and it's no longer there amongst the living. And Sage, with a huge force of Archons, he's just melting through this enemy force. And even though there are ghosts, even though EMPs went off, with combined Colossi and Archon force, he is able to secure another victory, and he goes up 3-0 against Beastie. What a game.
Well played. He knew that he didn't have the economy to drag the game out any longer. He was going to be weak later on. He knew that at that moment he was at his strongest point that he was going to be, and he made the right decision. He went in there for the big attack, and he pulled it off.
That's exactly right.
Well played for Sage.
So guys, before we get into the next game, a quick reminder: if you want to win one of the Heart of the Swarm copies, and we have a huge stock of them for you prepared, what you need to do is to go to our Team Liquid thread. The link will be on the chat in a second, and just leave a comment. Let us know how we are doing. Let us know what should we improve, and look for in our commentary what's missing, what's too much, and all of that. You just need to go there and leave a comment to be able to win a Heart of the Swarm copy. And now we'll be going for a couple of minutes commercial break, and we'll be back with you with another awesome game after that. See you later. Alright guys, and the next game is up. It's going to be on Quiet Kingdom. Quiet Kingdom. What a nice name for a map. Now it's going to be on Cloud Kingdom. Even still more in a fantasy setting, but hey, here we are, and Empire Beastie spawning as the orange Terran in the bottom side of the map.
And in the top right side of the map, we have who is ahead right now, 3-0 in a best-of-9 series, the Yellow Protoss, Root Sage.
And we need to remember, right now, it's around 4 AM for this guy, so I can just imagine how many energy drinks he had. Maybe, just maybe, he was that one overstimmed Marine.
I mean, at this point, he could be an overstimmed Marine. He might even be a stim zealot considering his race, which could or could not be good. I mean, stim for a zealot, extra movement speed, more attack speed for a little bit of health.
Yeah.
I would take that. I would take a stim zealot.
And all of these things are will be getting introduced in Legacy of the Void. So we will have stim upgrade for the zealots, you will have burrow upgrade for marines, and you will also be able to transform marines into huge suicidal bombers. Then called Bailing soldiers. Then you will have cloak void rays. All of that jazz will be introduced.
Oh my god, cloaked void rays. Oh.
Yeah, imagine if you move just a couple of abilities between or characteristics between units, it would change the game so hard. Can you imagine burrowed marines?
That'd be silly.
There would just be a head and a rifle sticking out of the ground.
Yeah. It sounds like something intense from the campaign that they decided to throw out. They're like, no way, that'll be too strong. We can't do it. Not even in the campaign.
They bunched up a group of pro players and told him, hey, this is how it's going to work in Legacy of the Void. And they played a game or two and they said, oh my god, this shit's intense.
That's what they said with the burrow movement banelings. Oh my god, I can't imagine the fear that would have happened to anyone playing against Zerg when you have to deal with banelings that can move underground.
Well,
that would have been insane.
Actually, if you would have burrowed marines, then it would have a lot of sense if you could make a shovel upgrade for them. And they would also be moving while burrowed. They would be just digging themselves tunnels into your main. And then you would have... how would you call a Terran Nidus?
I don't know. A Terran,
dig site.
Terran mining squad? Yeah, dig site squad or something like that. Terran Spelunkers? I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, you're asking on the chat where should you leave a comment. You just need to go to teamliquid.net. There's a thread about my stream, and just let me know how all of this is going. How much you like it or how much you hate it. Any sort of the comments is okay. We just want to know how you like it, and this is why we love you so much that we're giving out free copies of Heart of the Swarm.
And it looks like we have another proxy factory coming out of Terrence, so that seems to be his way that he's going to start off as always. But it's a little bit further back. I think each game, it's been further and further back, closer and closer to the base.
It's a weird proxy factory, though. But anyway, what I wanted to mention is that this very aggressive mothership core play has become a standard in PvZ recently. I just see players doing that all the time, and there is no exception. This just seems to be so prominent that it's worthwhile using every single game.
Yeah, the mothership core is really strong and very helpful against Zerg, or as we saw, as we've been seeing against Terran, that one zealot, one stalker, one mothership core push,
and one sentry.
And one sentry,
which will get destroyed fast. Oh my god! It managed to push a force field through, and will this mine make it? Yes, it did. Oh, not so good for Sage. It has to burrow up. It has to replace. But then Sage playing it extra careful. This is how you need to play against pushes which have Widow Mines in them. And will he cancel this Nexus? I think he'll be trying to keep it. Yeah. He's very ballsy, but the question is, will he make it? Will he manage to keep it? That's a more important one. And we already have an observer on the way, so yeah, Sage quite stable, I would say.
Yep, opening up with the one gate expand and getting the Robo right away to be safe from any sort of Widowmine attacks.
Boom.
Really safe, really smart play. He gets his base up, and he's gonna run the economic lead. So at this point, Beastie's on a timer. Either he's going to expand very soon, which case he has the command center up, so he'll probably get that
and
over.
he's going for a bunker at the expansion, so it seems he's going to expand. But by the way, one of the things I love about Heart of the Swarm, and I love pretty much everything about the game, if I would be honest with you guys, one of the things I love is the addition of physics. When things explode and they just, you know, they just get ripped to pieces, and that pieces all fall apart in different directions. They roll on the ground. They drop from cliffs.
They slide on the ice.
Yeah,
ice levels.
it's so
levels,
nice.
They slide. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Wouldn't it be good to have a marine slip on ice and then perhaps be impaled on a huge ice spike that was somewhere nearby?
That would be pretty interesting to have elemental, not elemental, what am I trying to say? Environmental things on the map that you could actually interact with units, like walls and spikes and things like that.
I'm quite sure that
wild.
someone would sue the map maker, and then the map makers would be putting up, please be careful, a slippery floor signs all over the maps. So
there
it
could
would
be a
crazy.
supermarket level where there's certain spills that if your units go on them, they slide, and you have to be careful. You could knock down some shelves.
But anyway, back to the game itself, not to get too much sidetracked to our visions of what will get introduced in Legacy of the Void. We have +1/+1 upgrades, so Sage will be going for a very standard play that we already saw in Wings of Liberty, nothing too fancy.
Except the Dark Shrine.
Except the Dark Shrine, which I just clicked and thought it's just another pylon. There's a Dark Shrine too. So okay, it's not so standard. After all, he's not even going for Blink or Charge. He is probably counting on a lot of Archons or just Dark Templars.
Yep, he's got a small gateway force up in the front, and he's starting to bring in Immortals. So we'll have to see exactly how this works out with the +1/+1. He's going to have only so much gas to spend. Little crazy Marine Scout come in the front to check the numbers on the opponent. Really nice observer placement over here. It looks like he's gonna go around. Do you think he'll drop?
Well, yeah. If I were him, I would do certainly so. Dropping is much better, especially if your opponent is on 2 bases or even more bases, because then he has to split his forces, and the drop is in Sage's main. Beastie, as always, being very good with his drops. The question is, how much damage will this deal? As we can see, Sage is splitting his units very wisely, only leaving Mothership Core in the main. This may be a mistake, since the Mothership Core with a huge cannon on top of your Nexus may not be enough. But then he took care of the small force that was down below, and now is just clearing up the main. Let's see what are the losses. 12 units, 12 workers killed in this attack. Quite a lot, but then Sage, I feel he can just afford it.
You know what? Last game he got the Dark Shrine, and he didn't really use it offensively. He just used it defensively for the drop defense, and then ended up moving out later on. And again, we're seeing the same thing here. So I think the plan might be to be using the Dark Shrine defensively at first, and then moving out with it later. Even though he does get it really quick, it doesn't seem to be any sort of particular super fast DT timing, which is kind of a cool play to see.
And also, if you have DTs for the defensive, you just make the... oh, very smart. Picking up a Widowmine with a Dark Templar, which wasn't really seen by the Widowmine. That's actually a good technique of dealing with Widowmines. You don't risk anything. But what I was about to say is, if you play Dark Templars defensively, then you just add up a cost of the scan to the cost of the attack. It's not only the Medivacs and the units inside. The Terran player also has to spend a scan. You know, normally a scan only costs you energy, you will say, but at this level the players keep using energy for mules, and if they use it for scanning, it actually, you know, it's a bunch of minerals, 270 minerals to be precise, that they will not gain due to dropping a mule. And
we have a drop, and Sage is natural again, but Sage is there to pick it up. He's got his whole army waiting there. Very smartly, Beastie backs off immediately, doesn't lose any units at all, just a little bit of health on a couple Marines and Marauder.
Yeah.
Sage going for the third now, and the third command center is coming up for Beastie, so we're going to see some 3-base on 3-base play here in a sec.
By the way, this show match is kind of king of the hill style. So if you win this week, then you get carried on to the next week, and then you will be playing against the winner of Jägerlisk Master Cup, which is an event that we host every Friday, and me and Jack commentate. So you know, it's all of a nice structure of letting the players to get even more money for their play, which I think is quite epic.
Yeah, check out this pylon placement again by Sage. BC's
Yeah.
gonna spot it, and he has to take it out before he moves in. Really, really nice. Oh, and there's another drop in the natural. BC's all over the place with these drops, but it looks like Sage's defense is pretty much bulletproof here. He's defending on all fronts, and only that first big drop really got in to deal damage, and until then he's been deflecting all of these attacks pretty expertly.
It seems so. All of these medivacs, nearly full of units, just are right now. They are rushing towards their own base, and they may get picked off by this army here. I'm not sure that Guardian Shield was necessary though, but still, if he manages to take at least one of them, yes, he did manage to. Oh, will he take another one? Oh, and the third one, yes, all of them taken down. What a finisher move! That was a fatality, if you ask me, my friend.
Yeah, and it was really good too because Sage had just boxed in his Robos. That meant that he could only build observers out of it and nothing else. He boxed it in with gateways, so
Wow.
very, very, very good for him.
I imagine that Beastie is pretty much annoyed by this point in time.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, guys, if you have just tuned in, if you didn't manage to catch all the games, you can always go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to that. The VODs of these matches will be uploaded shortly in a couple of days, so you'll be able to watch them and any other stuff that we do regularly. So yeah, anyway, we'll be back with you in a minute after a short commercial break, so don't go anywhere. It seemed that we may have the last game of tonight if Sage is on top of his game as he was for the remainder of the evening. So we'll be back. Alright, and the last game is upon us. So for now, it looks pretty much one-sided, to be honest, and I'm very sorry to say so, because in my opinion, Beastie is one of the strongest European Terran players, but then the style of play of Sage is something we haven't seen yet, and works quite well for him.
Yeah, I think Sage has all of his bases covered, and Beastie, I don't think, has gotten to his groove. I really think Beastie performs well in the later game, and right now that part of the game isn't really mapped out. So I think we'll be seeing a little bit of a stronger showing from Beastie in the future, absolutely. But he's going gas first here.
Oh.
Or gas after depot, not technically first.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know.
So gas after depot, but we know command center first is also after depot. The racks first. Kind of hard to avoid that small little building there. We all know that hobbits live in inside supply depots, but hey, that's a different story. So if we go gas first, then the option that you have is to go either fast reapers, maybe a marauder push. There are a couple of options, and we will see what Beasty goes for. In Wings of Liberty, we would be able to tell, okay, this is a fast Hellion drop, but you know, in Heart of the Swarm, it's still very much undefined. Sage for now just going for the gas, 2 gases actually, so I'm under the impression that he'll be going for a fast Stargate play, some more proxy.
Oh, we got the scout coming in from Sage, so he gets to see everything. If he clicks on the refinery, which he did click on the refinery, so he did check the refinery's gas.
Yeah,
he'll know it's
very
gas
smart.
first,
Mm-hmm.
and he will know what exactly to expect. Maybe some Reapers, maybe some very fast factory play, and he gets to scout the factory too, so he even rules out the Reapers, says, okay, fast factory play is what's going on, probably going to have some Widow Mine, maybe some Hellbat drops.
And at this point, Beasty is just hoping, I just hope that he didn't click the gas to check, because, you know, what Sage has seen in Beasty's base wasn't all that unusual, except the lower number of remaining gas globes. I'm not really sure what it is that these guys carry outside the factory, the refinery, but anyway, if you check that number, then you're able to say, okay, he went for a gas first. But then, oh my god, Sage still going for a Nexus after 1 gate core. That's ballsy. That's very ballsy.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna have to defend 2 fronts from Hellbat drops, or Hellion drops, because he's got the starport up, Hellions are coming out. We're just, at this point in time, we're really waiting for the armory. If the armory comes down, then we'll know that we're looking at very likely a Hellbat drop. If it doesn't come down, maybe just some Hellions. But I mean,
exactly right.
Hellions are still ridiculously strong, and we don't have any detection yet, so that's going to be working out pretty well. There's no Widow Mines coming.
I will not say this is going to be a Hellbat drop. Normally the build for a Hellbat drop includes 1 reactor on your on your factory, and then you can time it out perfectly with your starport, so when the first medevac leaves the starport, you already have 4 Hellbats. But it will not be the case, so it's going to be a very old style Hellion drop play, 3 Hellions, 2 Marines. It just smells like an elevator play. That's at least how we used to call it on our Polish shows.
Yeah, so we do have the 3 gates up, and he is going Stargate after the expansion, but he's gonna have to defend 2 areas. He's gonna have to defend both his natural and his main from the drop here. But his army's in pretty good position for the angle that this drop is coming in. Usually the drop's going to come in on this side on this map because of all the extra airspace
you know what
to
they
the
say,
left of the Protoss main.
When the time gets tough, the tough gets going. So maybe Sage will just show us another example of his stellar play, and we already have Hellions and Marines inside his main base. Already instant reaction time with this giant cannon on top of his Nexus, and the medevac has to run away. Oh no, losing most of the contents. Not so good. And this drop didn't do it didn't do any damage.
Oh, and GG from Empire.
Oh my!
Congratulations to Root Sage for winning the best of 9.
Wow.
Well played all around, deflecting every single attack that came out of Beasty.
Yeah, and even though Beasty has lost this 5-0, you know, in terms of numbers, it doesn't look very good for him. Even though that happened, I still think he showed a very good and strong play on his side. It is just Sage being so much stronger. And, well, anyway, Sage has won tonight's show match. We'll be having this show match every week on Wednesday, guys. This is how crazy this gets. And since Sage won this one, he'll be carrying over to the next week. And if you stay a King of the Hill for a while, then you start accumulating additional bonus prize pool, which is even more great for the players themselves. So thank you very much, guys, for watching today. Jack, thank you very much for casting. We always encourage you to subscribe our channel, which you can, I think the button can be found at the top, although I'm not sure with so many UI changes to the Twitch TV. You can always find us on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and Twitter. Every single mass media that you can imagine.
Right.
So I guess, yeah.
And also, I do a show every single night. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have race-specific days where we go over those days. And Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific. So in 6 hours, I know most of you are going to be up really late if you're up that late. But if any of you are planning on being up at around that time, we'll be looking at improving in the Stuff League. So if you're a bronze, silver, or gold level player, and you're looking for some tips of how to get into platinum, and you're a Protoss player, tonight is the Protoss night. So
exactly right.
Tune in to the Jack Attack on Twitch, and I'll help you out with anything you need help with.
Yeah, you kind of stole my line because I was hoping to advertise you first, but okay, there we go. Yeah. Anyway, there's still the contest on Team Liquid. If you just go to Team Liquid to our thread, and you can just leave us a comment about how you feel about the show, how much you like it or hate it. Just let us know, and you enter the pool of people who can win a copy of Heart of the Swarm. I can say that for this year we have around 30 copies of Heart of the Swarm in our stock. So yeah. That's pretty much it for tonight, guys. It was awesome to be casting for you. I think the matches have been epic. Since I'm abusing the term awesome recently, I'm switching to epic now. and we'll see you next Wednesday with a show match. But before that, on Friday, we still have Jägalisk Mastercard 32 players tournament for Masters and Grandmasters players only, played on Heart of the Swarm. And, recent editions have been pretty damn good. So I expect the same this week. That's it. So, Yegwen signing off alongside with Jack Attack. See ya later, guys.
See ya.